Hi and welcome to the first video in data collection, representation and analysis. In this video we're going to learn about the different types of data, and by the end you should be able to tell the difference between the different types and the difference between what a population is and what a sample is. Let's start with collecting information. Let's say that you want to know something and you've got to collect information to do it. When you're going to do this, you need to consider how you're going to collect the data, how you're going to then organize it, how you will analyze it to actually get some information from it, and then how you're going to present it and tell people about it. Today we're going to talk about how you're going to collect the data. And there's actually two things we're going to look at. What type of data we want to collect, and then who we're going to ask. So let's start off with the different types of data that you can collect. When you collect data, it's really going to fit into two categories. It's either going to be categorical data, which are words, or it's going to be numerical data, which are your numbers. Questions that could get back categorical data would be things like, what's your favorite color? Purple. What are the names of your parents? Denise and Chris. How much do you like maths? Oh, I'm definitely a 3, it's the best. Numerical data are going to be your numbers. So questions like, how tall are you? 194 centimeters. How many pets do you have? 1. And how fast can you run? About 10 k's an hour. When you ask questions that get back numerical data, however, there are actually two different types of numerical data. You can either get back continuous data, they're your measurements. And then you can also get back discrete data, which are your counting numbers. So if I took a look at those 3 questions I asked previously, I want you to try and work out if the answers are going to be continuous, whether they're going to be measurements, or if they're going to be discrete, whether they're going to be counting numbers. Okay, I hope you paused the video. If you didn't, pause it now and try again. But here we go. How tall are you is a measurement. So that's going to be continuous data. How many pets do you have? Well, I'm going to be counting just the 1 pet. So that's discrete. And how fast can you run? Well, that's the difference between time and distance. So that is a measurement, so which is continuous. So there's 2 types of data, numerical and categorical. And then when you look at numerical data, there's actually 2 types of numerical data, continuous and discrete. Now we're going to take a look at how many people we're going to survey. Let's say we want to ask a question, how much money do you spend at the canteen? Who are we going to ask? What's the best possible people to ask? Who are the best possible people to ask to get the best information? You can either take a survey of the whole population, or you can just take a sample. The population is an entire group. An example of a survey that we take as Australians is called the census. And the census is a survey that everybody in Australia has to fill in. It takes information like how many people live in your house, how much money you earn, where do you live, things like that. And then they take that information and they use it to plan for the future. It happens every 5 years. That has to happen for every single person in Australia. Now, the sample is just a small group taken from a larger population. And we're going to have a look at the reasons why you would want to do that in just a second. But let's take a look at the population. Why would you want to take a survey of an entire population? Well, for one, it gathers more data. And with more data, it means that it's more accurate. The problem with this is that it's very time consuming to do this, and it's also very expensive. You need to hire people to get the information, and then collate it, and then distribute the information. It's very costly. If you just take a sample, so a small group, say for example we were going to look at the people in our school, we might just take the people from year 7. So that would just be a small sample. Or maybe we would just take the girls from year 8. That would be a small sample compared to the whole population of the entire school. The good thing about it is that it's very quick, and it's not too expensive to do this because we're not asking absolutely everybody. The problem with taking a sample is that there's less data to work with, so you're not getting as accurate information. So that's what you need to learn about from this video. Here are the things that you should pause and summarize. You should write down what's on the screen about the 2 different types of data and the types of questions you can ask. You should also write down the different types of numerical data and how those questions leak into continuous and discrete. And finally, the difference between samples and populations. If you've watched the video and you've copied down the notes, then you should be able to tell the difference between the different types of data, categorical and numerical, and you should also be able to tell the difference between a population, that's the whole group, versus just a sample, which is a part of the group. as always, I'm going to finish my videos off with the website and my email address. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me a line and I might be able to help you out on the day. Good luck.